apologies for any excessive static noises. Welcome to the blind live stream of Gothic 2. Streamed live on YouTube on the 14th of February 2022. Gothic 2 will be streamed for 2 to 4 hours today. Thanks for watching. Please say hello in the chat and provide feedback. You will not be ignored and will receive a verbal response and a text response when the time is appropriate. Thanks for watching and patience. Also, if you do leave a message in chat and would like a response, please allow the message to be seen and responded. Please do not leave. Thanks. Please invite your friends to chat and watch. Please be aware that this is a blind playthrough. Please avoid any tips, advice and spoilers. Thanks. Please remember to check out other videos on Kallian K's channel.
By reason of the imminent danger of an attack by orcs, each inhabitant of the city is to prepare himself accordingly.
It's a bad business.
I can't take care of everything right away.
Gothic 2, blind live stream.
That's all
Part
just
4.
gossip.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Someone's got to do the work.
I'm not telling you anything new.
You don't say.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Jack is having problems with bandits. Maybe I can get rid of them.
Really? How interesting.
I'm no better off myself.
He had better shut up.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
Hear ye,
That's not what I
inhabitants of
heard.
Corinthus. By the explicit order of the Honorable
It's all
Lord
just
Hagen,
gossip.
the following decree is hereby enacted.
I
The
can't take care of
security
everything
measures
for
the
everybody.
protection of the upper quarter will be further
Maybe that would be a
strengthened.
problem.
The guards on the gates are ordered to interpret the...
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
I can't believe that.
I don't believe that.
So why won't they listen to me? He didn't get that from me.
He should have known better. You already know what I think.
I'm not touching that. Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
Let's wait and see what happens. You don't have to ask me that.
That was quite obvious. I wouldn't be so sure.
He should have known better.
I've got my own opinion about that.
That's nothing new. That's nothing new.
We can only wait and see. I've heard a thing or two.
It can't go on like this forever. I could have told you that before.
I can't believe that. I already thought as much.
I've got no time for things like that. That's exactly what I said.
Go away, don't tell me that.
First I've heard it. I'm not touching that.
Who says things like that?
That will never change.
He'd better shut up.
They listen to me. That's the first I've heard.
I couldn't get away with that. You don't have to ask me that.
You don't say.
Where did you pick that up?
You should really have known better.
Everybody knows by now.
You don't have to tell me that. I wouldn't have done that.
Don't tell this to anyone.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Everybody knows by now.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Go away, don't tell me that.
You can't rely on that.
Don't say.
Nobody wants to know.
That's not what my husband thinks.
You can't rely on that. You should really have known better.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
That will never change.
That's an open secret.
I'm staying out of it.
Lucia does not seem to be working here. I have no idea where she is.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Nobody wants to know.
Everybody knows by now.
And it's
I
gonna
used to
be
say that myself.
I don't believe that.
I don't
That would be a problem.
Let's wait and see what happens.
So why won't they listen to me?
I don't believe that.
That's an open secret.
I'm like this forever.
He simply talks too much.
Where did you pick that up then?
That's what I've always said.
Really have known better.
I already thought as much.
You listened to the wrong people.
I've got no time for things like that. You can't rely on that.
I've heard a thing or two.
It had to happen soon.
Where is this lighthouse?
How are things?
You don't seriously expect me to answer that question, boy?
What can you tell me about this area?
You are now in the Harbor District. Where do you want to go?
How do I get to the Gallows Square?
Walking up the Harbor Road from the Quay Wall will take you to the lower part of town. Walking through the underpass from the smithy will take you to the Temple Square. Coming from the Temple, if you pass the tavern on the left, you'll come out at the Gallows Square.
Thanks, that's all I wanted to know.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
I wanted to...
There's nothing here to see. Now move along.
What with? What with? What with?
I couldn't get that.
That's not what I heard. It can't go on like that. It's quite obvious.
The path of virtue is long and rough.
That's nothing new. Do you really believe that?
Hey, do you need fish? Get your fish here, fresh from the depths of the sea.
I knew that would be a problem. There've been all kinds of...
Can you tell me something about those missing people?
Missing people? This is a harbor, pal. Things like that are bound to happen. The sea is treacherous and bound to claim a life now and then. Captains of large vessels will always sign on new sailors in a large seaport such as Corinnis to complete their cruise. And if they don't find any volunteers, some people may get dragged off against their will, and then they're gone.
Some problems solve themselves. That's not what I heard. We can only wait and see.
Minos deals out fair punishment.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Are you missing someone?
Me?
That's the
No.
first I've heard of it.
Things I could tell you.
Do you know of anyone who's gone missing?
Someone's gotta pay for
No idea. Ask the shipbuilders.
Get that from
He
me.
thinks it's as easy as that.
That'll only cause more
What
trouble
ship would
since
that
we
have been?
prevail in the end.
Good question. Not many ships have come into Corinnis lately. That is
I
true.
could have told you that before. Don't tell me you didn't know that. I can't believe
You
that.
should really have known better. That will never change.
It's better to watch out. If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
Oh yes, I remember, Lucia went missing. I need to speak to the shipbuilders.
He really didn't deserve
Tell me
that.
that isn't true. That'll only cause more trouble.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
That's what I've always said.
Wouldn't be so sure.
Now that's typical.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
That was quite obvious.
That's an open secret.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Hey!
You hardly know who to believe these days.
That'll only cause more trouble.
Tell me about the harbor.
The harbor of Corinthus isn't what it used to be. There's nothing but riffraff hanging about. The ships don't come anymore, and trade is dead.
That's all just
This
gossip.
harbor's about to go under.
Anything's possible.
It's really not my problem.
So why don't you leave?
Nobody would take an old sea dog like me on his ship these days. Most people think that old Jack's got the gout in his rotten old bones.
And, are they right?
Balderdash. Once I've got those planks beneath me feet again, I'll feel like a young whippersnapper.
Cause more trouble.
What do you mean by riffraff?
Look at them, the lazy rabble.
Who said that?
Most of them don't even know what work is. All they do is drink all day and spend their last pay at the brothel. I tell you, stay away from them.
But no.
Why are the ships no longer coming?
They all say that once the war is over, everything will be like it used to be. That's a load of bilge water. I tell you, a sailor can see when a town's going downhill. A sailor feels that in his blood, and I can tell you, forget about this harbor. Its heyday's over.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
You should have known.
I'd have gone about it differently.
You don't have to ask me that.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Will it ever change?
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
It's a bad business.
Hey, you!
Nobody ever asks me.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Those are all just rumors.
You're one worker short?
Yes, his name is Monty.
surprise me.
He's vanished into thin air.
You
That
already know
lazy pig is probably living the high life on a farm
Listen to
somewhere.
the wrong
I
people.
should never have paid him in advance.
I wouldn't have done that.
Nobody will learn anything from
When was the last time you saw Monty?
He hasn't bothered to show up for work for at least 2
It's really
days.
not my problem.
I've heard that other people have gone missing too.
Just what I'm saying. That's where the evil
Telling you
starts.
anything new.
Farum the fisherman told me something similar. His buddy William is no longer around. I bet
known a
that the
long time.
orcs are behind all this.
He should have known.
It's not what I heard.
What's going on at the harbor?
The orcs are breathing down our necks and you're asking about the harbor?
I only wanted to...
See that?
The biggest problem we have is that there aren't enough ships in the harbor to get us out of here. To be honest, there's only one ship here, and that belongs to the Paladins. They certainly won't let us get out of here with that.
I'm no better off myself.
Hey!
There's nothing you can do about it.
As if I didn't have enough.
What's new?
Ever since they took the barrier away, this town has been overrun with bandits. The paladins don't do a thing. Why the hell are they even here, then?
It's really not my problem.
How do I go about orienting myself in this city?
It's not that easy finding your way around here, is it? Even the signposts don't always help. If you have a bad sense of direction, you'd better go down to the harbor, assuming you can find your way there, and look for the cartographer's house. It's right next to the tavern at the quay. Brahim will certainly have a map of the city for you.
So I now know some of the names of the missing people. Let me go and speak to Farum and ask him about William.
Show me your maps.
That's terrible. Simply talks too much. Can't take care of it. Everybody knows by now. Don't tell this to anyone. These are bad times. These are bad times. That's no good secret. Really? How interesting. Who says things like that?
He never would have thought of that himself.
I don't believe him. I won't tell him a thing. Honestly.
Come back again later. I'm sure to have something new for you then.
I won't tell him a thing. These are bad times. Honestly, he can't keep anything to himself. I don't believe that.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Don't say. I don't believe that. That's an open secret.
It's not what I heard.
He simply talks too much. He can't keep anything to himself. I don't believe that.
There's nothing you can do about it.
That's not what my husband. He simply talks too much. That's an open secret.
I'd have gone about it differently.
That's not what my husband. Now that's typical, isn't it? I can't take care of everything.
He doesn't see that. He can't help it.
Who says things like that? I don't believe that. That's an open secret.
I agree with you completely.
He can't keep anything to
Everybody knows by now. He simply talks too
It's a
much.
bad business.
Go away, don't tell me that. I can't take care of everything for everybody.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
He simply talks too much. Don't tell this to anyone. Go away, don't tell me that.
That doesn't surprise me.
These are bad times. Really? How interesting. Honestly, I wouldn't stand this up.
It's a bad business.
Who says things like that?
There's nothing you can do about it.
Really? How interesting.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I can't take care of everything for everybody.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Where is the lighthouse on this map?
Nothing surprises me anymore.
He can't keep anything to himself.
These are really true. Nobody will learn anything from me.
Don't say.
And he works all day, too.
That was obvious.
I don't believe that.
Tell me that.
Everybody knows by now.
That's not what
Who
I
says
heard.
things like that?
It was his
Don't say
decision,
you
wasn't
didn't know that.
it? The things I could tell you.
You mustn't believe me.
Your buddy William has disappeared?
So he has. He's a fisherman, but a little too big for his boots, I should add. He should have stayed well away from that bunch.
What bastards would those be?
I don't know who they are or what their business is here in Corinus. I only know the place where they met up with William. I just happened to see William there when I was fishing in the bay.
When did you last see him?
only a few days ago.
Where exactly is that meeting place?
There's a bay opposite the harbor, north of here. You can only reach it by boat or swim. There's a beach there, and a small fishing camp. That's where I saw them.
What's he been up to?
William had some shady dealings with those crooks. I think it was all about contraband that he sold to the bastards.
Maybe he just went out to sea to fish.
That's not very likely. His boat is still moored in the harbor.
I think I've heard enough.
Spare yourself the effort. I don't believe you'll find him.
I don't believe this is going to change.
And there's more, believe me.
Who says things like that?
Nothing amazes me anymore.
I won't tell her a thing from
Used to
now
say
on.
that myself.
These are bad.
Your buddy William has disappeared?
So he has. He's a fisherman, but a little too big.
What bastards would those...
I only know.
When did you last see him?
You can only reach it by boat or swim. There's a beach there.
What's he been up to?
William,
Maybe. I think I've heard enough.
Spare yourself the effort. I don't believe you'll find him.
Tell me that isn't true.
He didn't get that from me.
You listened to the wrong people.
He can't keep anything to himself.
Everybody knows by now.
Do you really believe that?
And it's going to get even worse.
Change. Tell me that isn't
And he works all day, too.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
no idea. You tell me.
Hey, what led you into this poor area? What are you looking for here?
I'm just looking around a bit.
Ha! Then you better not be caught looking around. It would seem that we have a few thieves in the city who would steal stuff from the rich people. The city guard recently turned the harbor district upside down, but they didn't find anything.
What do you know about the thieves?
Nothing, but all the citizens are scared and have become distrustful, particularly towards strangers. Don't get caught in strange houses. No one takes kindly to that. Yeah, you gotta protect yourself against thieves. A sturdy cudgel works best.
Can you teach me anything?
I'm forging a few fittings and nails and repairing iron parts. But I don't know enough about forging weapons to be able to instruct you. If you want to learn that, go see Harrod. He sure knows how to forge weapons. But if you want to train your muscles a bit, well, I can help you with that.
How much do you charge for the training?
50 gold pieces, and I'll help you to become stronger.
He never would have thought of that himself.
I've heard a thing or two. My opinion.
That was obvious all along.
You really didn't deserve that.
Do you really believe that?
How's the situation?
At the moment, it's quiet. Only the bandits outside the city are causing us problems.
and Beliar gave unto it a portion of his divine power, so that it might destroy the land. But Enos beheld what Beliar had done, and he also bestrode the land, and chose the human. And Enos spoke to him, and the human became his subject. And Enos gave unto him a portion of his divine power, so that he might undo the work of Beliar.
And he works all day too.
Don't tell this to anyone.
He simply talks too much.
He can't keep anything to himself.
These are bad times.
Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
That's what I've always said.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
And he works all day too.
And he works all day too.
These are bad times.
That's an open secret.
That's not what I heard.
That's not what my husband thinks.
What are you doing here?
I wouldn't know how that is any of your business. Get lost!
By now.
But that's terrible.
Welcome, stranger.
You can't keep anything.
My name is Baltram. Have you come to stock up on food? I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. I don't have much in stock right now. But I'll be getting a new delivery soon.
Everybody knows by now.
Have you got a job for me?
No, I already have an errand boy.
can't
Try the other merchants.
And he works all day, too.
Show me your wares.
And it's gonna get even worse.
Everybody knows by now.
Someone's gotta do the work.
Who says things like that?
He can't keep anything to himself.
He simply talks too much.
Martial law is immediately declared in all cities and regions of the realm. All civilian judges are to hand over their duties to the royal paladins, effective immediately. The Honorable Lord Andre is commanded to punish every crime or act of resistance against the king's guards most severely. Every inhabitant of Corinus who is guilty of a crime is to report immediately to Lord Andre.
Hey! Hey, what's up?
As long as the paladins don't have any new assignments for me, I can have myself a couple of beers here. What more could you ask?
You're working for the paladins?
Well, yeah, I report to them on the situation in the city. At the moment, everything is quiet.
How are things with the orcs?
No reason to worry. We in the city guard and the paladins have everything under control. Go home and let us do our work. We're watching over the town and its citizens. Oh.
Would you like another beer?
There's nothing better than a cool ale.
You were about to say something about the orcs.
Oh, yeah, right. The orcs are absolutely no threat to the city. They're stuck in the Valley of Mines, and the pass is held by the paladins. Not even a meat bug could get through there.
Would you like another beer?
Sure, I want another beer. Get me one.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. Martial law is immediately declared in all cities and regions of the realm. All civilian judges are to hand over their duties to the royal paladins, effective immediately. The Honorable Lord Andre is commanded...
Ah, customer, what can I do for you?
I have a few questions about the city. Tell me about the town.
Corinus is one of the wealthiest cities within the kingdom, even if it doesn't look like it at the moment. But since the Orc War started, trade has almost come to a complete standstill. The king has requisitioned the entire merchant fleet for military service, which means that hardly any ships come into the harbor now. So, the supply of goods is very scarce now, and many citizens of the town are very worried. Nobody really knows what the future will bring. There's basically nothing we can do but wait and see what happens. It's not like we can change anything.
Where can I buy something around here?
The market is directly in front of the door. You should be able to find everything there. There are a few more shops and craftsmen on the other side of town. Most of them are near the other city gate. Also, there's a fishmonger in the harbor district. His shop is right at the harbor. He's easy to find.
The Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted. The security measures for the protection of the upper quarter will be further strengthened. The guards on the gates are ordered to interpret the law in the strictest sense in order to prevent unauthorized entry.
But Adanos feared for the day in which the beast would return to the land.
Can I get a drink here?
If you have gold, you can even eat here if you like.
Tell me about the missing townspeople.
I heard that a lot of them went missing down by the harbor. Small wonder with all that's going on down there. Even Thorben, the carpenter in the lower part of town, has lost his apprentice. Hakon, one of the merchants in the marketplace, had an especially strange tale to tell. He said that there was this fella that he used to bump into every day, and then suddenly he vanished off the face of the earth. He even went to see the militia about it. Townspeople all pretty much panicked after that. I don't know what to make of it. I think it's all nonsense. Corinus is a rough city, and many dangers lurk outside her gates. Those who don't stay within the city walls will be attacked by bandits or eaten by wild animals. Yeah, it's that simple.
And how's business going?
Don't remind me. Lord Andre is serving free beer at the Gallows Square. Hardly anybody comes here now, except for the rich people from the upper quarter.
What's wrong with them?
Some of those swells could really get on your nerves. Take that Valentino, for instance. I can't stand the sight of him. But I can't pick my customers. I need every coin I can make. What little I had managed to save has been stolen, along with all my silver.
You've been robbed?
Yep, some time ago. It was still rather crowded that night, and I was doing the rounds serving beer. I wasn't gone long from behind the counter, but it was long enough for those bastards. I went to see the militia about it. But they couldn't find a thing, of course. Yeah. They prefer to get plastered on free beer.
What is it with this Valentino?
He's filthy rich and has no need to work. And he brags about it to everybody, whether you want to hear it or not. He drinks a lot and always stays until the end, and then early in the morning he totters back to the upper quarter. It's the same every day.
What do I have to do to get into the upper quarter?
Well, you need to be a citizen of the town. Go find some work. Preferably with a craftsman in the lower part of town. That'd make you a citizen. Well, and if that's still not enough, go talk to Lord Andre at the barracks. Maybe he'll let you join the city guard. They can go into the upper quarter, too.
Show me your wares.
And thus spake Adanos to his brothers, Never again shall you walk upon my land, for it is sacred, and so shall it be. But the human and the beast waged war upon the land of Adanos, and the wrath of the gods was with them. And the human slew the beast, and it entered into Beliar's realm.
Hey, you! Would you like another beer?
Well, I won't say no to a decent pint.
They've even spotted an orc outside of town.
Yeah, right. The dangerous orc outside the city. A real monster of an orc. Well, he's bound to attack the city soon. Listen, we'll kick that fat orc in his fat ass if he comes too close to the city. Got it?
I see. Would you like another beer?
A tasty bitter ale is absolutely the best. You know, you don't often meet someone who'll treat you to a beer. You're all right.
Would you like another beer?
A tasty bitter ale is absolutely the best. You know, you don't often meet someone who'll treat you to a beer. You're all right.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree is hereby enacted.
Ragnar was very informative.
From this
I gave
moment
me
onward,
useful information
Lord
about
Andre
the
will
orcs.
take the supreme
Gargle
command
will
of our
pleased
militia.
to know about this.
All the citizens of this city who have martial skills at their disposal are herewith urged to join the royal militia.
You're a convict from the mining colony. I won't sell you anything.
Beat it, convict! Canthar told me what a nasty bastard you are.
That was quite obvious.
That was no big deal.
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
But Adanos feared for the day in which the beast would return to the land. And so he bade Enos to leave a part of his power in his realm so that he might restore it to the human if the beast should return.
I've heard a thing or two.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
I don't know why he gets so worked up.
That's not what I heard.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
That's not what my husband thinks.
It was just like you said.
And he works all day, too.
I'm not touching that.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Now that's typical, isn't
I've
it?
heard a thing or two. It was just like you said.
And it's gonna get even worse.
Don't say you didn't know that.
Who says things like that?
Get that from me. I've heard a thing or two.
That's not what my husband thinks.
I'm in enough trouble as it is. It was just like you
That's
said.
all just gossip.
Really? How interesting. That's not what I heard.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Tell me that isn't true.
That's what I've always said.
But that's terrible.
He had better shut up.
That's not
I'm like this forever.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
This is gonna change.
It's really not my problem.
And he works all day too.
That's not what my husband thinks.
He'd better shut up.
That's not what my husband thinks.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. And he works all day too.
No idea. You tell me.
That's what I've always said.
That's an open secret. And he works all day too.
You should really have known better.
He simply talks too much.
You don't say. Is it really true? Someone's got to do the work.
I used to say that myself.
What are you standing around for out here? Go on in and meet our passionate Nadja. This hot creature of the night will give your life a new meaning.
Hey, you! I've got some information about the orcs.
Let's hear it.
They're stuck in the Valley of Mines, and it looks like they're going to stay there. To be on the safe side, the paladins are guarding the pass.
Good. If you find out more, let me know.
As to that orc outside of town?
Yes?
Don't worry about him. The city guard is going to take care of him.
Good. If you find out more, let me know.
What's going on at the harbor?
The orcs are breathing down our necks and you're asking about the harbor?
I only wanted to...
The biggest problem we have is that there aren't enough ships in the harbor to get us out of here. To be honest, there's only one ship here, and that belongs to the Paladins. They certainly won't let us get out of here with that.
Garvla's still paranoid. I cannot speak to Hakon because he is being an ass, but I could speak to Thorben.
Hey! Actually, I was on my way to the upper quarter.
Yeah, right. And I was about to board a ship and have it take me to the king for an audience. People like you and me haven't been allowed in the upper quarter since the Paladins came.
Are you a citizen of this town?
If you mean do I live here, yeah. But still they won't let me into the upper quarter. Only the Toths can get in there, or the merchants and craftsmen from the lower end of town. The people from the harbor district don't carry much weight in Corinth. There isn't even a regular militia patrol down here.
Has anything exciting happened lately?
Not long ago, The city guards turned the entire harbor district upside down. They were searching for stolen property. There've been plenty of thefts here lately, especially in the better quarters. They're obviously trying to blame the poor suckers at the harbor for everything.
It can't go on like this forever. Nobody ever asked for my opinion. You already know what I think. Don't say you didn't know that.
You look a little worse for wear. Haven't slept in a long time, have you?
Too long, I should say.
Come on, step closer. With me, you'll find what you're looking for.
You really think? I can't believe that. That's exactly what I said. I don't know why
You said that you've got what I need. Does that include information?
But of course, what is it you want to know?
Let's wait and see what happens. I knew that would be a problem. Why haven't I heard about this before? I can't believe that. You already know exactly what I said. I wouldn't be.
Do you know anyone from the upper quarter?
That's nothing.
If I knew anyone up there, I wouldn't be standing here, my boy.
That's nothing new. Where did you pick that up then?
What interesting things are there to see around the harbor?
I'm in enough trouble.
Well, if you're looking for some action, you can go down to Cardiff's Inn at the Quay. There's always something brewing there.
I knew that would
You can hardly miss it. The guy standing by the entrance there will certainly draw your attention to it. Besides that, there's the large ship of the Paladins, the King's stately war galley. That one's really worth seeing. You'll find it if you keep left at the quay and then pass under the high rock face.
You don't have to ask me. Where did you pick that up then?
Has anything exciting happened lately?
You could say so. It wasn't that long ago. A thief ran by here. He must have stolen a bow in the lower part of the city. Of course, the militia came here way too late, like always. He got away from them, just jumped into the harbor, and he was gone.
I'm in enough trouble as it is. Anything's possible. I've heard a thing or two. That's totally obvious. I already thought as much. Some problem solved themselves. Where did you pick that up then? That's nothing new. I knew that would be a problem.
Show me your wares.
Nobody ever asks me. I'm not touching that. You already know what I think. Don't say you didn't know that. Nobody ever asks me. You mustn't believe.
Are there any other traders here at the harbor?
If you keep to the left at the quay, you'll find Helvor, my husband. He sells fish. On the other side, there's Brahim, the cartographer.
I hardly know what to believe anymore. I'm no better off myself. We can only wait and see. Some problems solve themselves. Nobody ever asked for my opinion. It's better to watch out. I'm in enough trouble as it is. You already know what I think. Don't say you didn't know that. You have to feel sorry. I'm not touching that. I could have told you that. You didn't get that from me. Anything's possible. So why won't they listen to me? Some problems solve themselves. I've heard a thing or two. Anything's possible. I don't believe this is gonna change. I could have told you that. See what happens. That was quite obvious. You don't have to ask me that. You mustn't believe everything you hear. Some problems solve themselves. Don't say you didn't know that. Do you really think? It can't go on like this forever. I could have told him that was more trouble. He didn't get that from me. You already know what I think. I wouldn't be so sure. That's totally obvious. I already thought as much. There have been all kinds of rumors. It can't go on like this forever. But he knew that all along.
She mentioned the bow thief ran through the harbor. I think this thief must be with the cutthroats on that bay.
It can't go on like this forever. You already know what I think. I don't want to hear.
Can you sell me some lockpicks?
Well, all right, but they won't be of any use to you as long as you don't know how they work.
You didn't get that from me. Where did you pick that up then? I don't know why he gets so worked up.
I don't want to hear that anymore. There have been all kinds of rumors.
I knew that would be a problem.
You don't have to have it.
Those are all just rumors. I couldn't get away with that.
I don't believe this is gonna
And he works all day, too.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
I knew that would be a problem.
He'd better shut up.
Why he gets so worked up?
That was no big deal.
Someone's got to do the work.
You don't have to tell me that.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Tell me that isn't true.
That's an open secret.
You just have to listen.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Tell me that isn't true.
I thought Heather was married. What is he doing in here?
That will never change.
That was quite obvious.
These are bad times.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Don't say it.
Hey, if you want to buy fish, come to my booth tomorrow, okay?
But that's terrible.
Tell me that isn't true.
Wait a minute.
I can only talk to you if you speak to Bromar first.
No one really wants to hear that.
He'd better shut up.
That's no secret.
I don't believe that.
I couldn't care less.
Hey, what's up?
Man, I'm busy. Leave me alone.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
You can't rely on that.
He simply talks too much.
That will never change.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. And he works all day too.
Who says things like that?
Who says things like that?
I won't tell her things.
Do you really think?
I've got my own opinion about that.
That'll only cause more trouble.
That's what I've always said.
Trouble as it is.
These are bad times. I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
He had better shut up.
You don't say.
Has anything exciting happened?
Oh well, all's quiet. I suppose that when the orcs come, we can't fail to notice.
That's the first I've heard of it.
That's all just gossip.
That's the first I've heard of it.
That's really not my problem.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
No funny business. One more step and I'll hack you to bits.
This lighthouse can't be that far away.
One more thing.
Listen, kid. I've got important things to do right now. We'll talk again later, got it? There's another of those scummy beasts. Ah! One less monster around.
Nothing to be had there.
That's all just gossip. That was no big deal. I agree with you completely. I used to say that myself. Nothing amazes me anymore. Tell me that isn't true. I agree with you completely.
Someone's gotta do the work.
You don't say.
That's not what I heard.
I don't believe that.
Take care of it.
Halt!
What
less
is it?
monster around. You know that only too well. We have no use for troublemakers in our town. Why do you think we should let you in?
Now that's typical, isn't it?
Don't tell me that.
Hey, not so fast. Strolling about alone out here is dangerous. Where do you come from?
He can't keep anything to himself.
He simply talks too much.
From the city.
Well. Then what are you doing wandering around out here, so far from the protective walls of the city?
That's not what my husband thinks.
What's so dangerous out here?
Many things. For one thing, there's the bandits. They'd polish off a little wimp like you for breakfast. If the bandits don't catch you, then the wild animals in the forest or the mercenaries roaming around will take care of you. So first get yourself some decent armor before you go out. I bet you'll be yelling for my help after the next bend in the road.
Really? How interesting.
Just assuming I would fall back on your help. How much would that cost me?
I am merely a humble servant of the king, and would not enjoy fleecing a helpless little citizen of the realm. But you know, if you put it like that, I wouldn't object to a little financial backing to promote our future business relationship. 10 gold coins should do for starters. What do you think?
I'll think about it.
Suit yourself. Have a nice death.
Go away, don't tell me that.
You don't say.
That's an open secret.
But that's terrible.
That's not what I heard. And it's going to get even worse.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
That's not what my husband knows.
You don't say. He can't keep anything to himself.
And he works all day too. That's not what I heard.
I can't take care of everything. I won't tell her a thing from now on.
I won't tell her a thing.
Alarm!
All right, so much for you, filthy beast. Put away that weapon. Smart kid.
Everybody knows by now.
And he works all day, too.
And it's gonna get even worse.
He can't keep anything to himself.
He had better shut up.
He can't keep anything to himself.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
That's not what I heard.
Someone's gonna do the work.
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
one less monster around.
All right. So much for you, filthy beast. Put away that weapon. Smart kid.
That's not what I heard. But that's terrible.
That's not what I heard. I can't take care of everything for everybody. Don't tell me that.
Now that's typical, isn't it?
He simply talks too much.
These are bad times.
And it's gonna get even worse.
He'd better shut up.
That's what I've always said.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
What? I have just teleported.
never get this open without the right key.
It is a bit too dangerous here. I should head back.
Gonna rip you to pieces.
Stop right there, you lowlife!
One less monster around. You're in for it now.
Stop right there, you lowlife!
You're in for it now.
Stop right there, you lowlife!
Tell me that isn't true.
Well, we have to pay our contribution to the city. If we don't, we'll end up having trouble with the paladins.
Onar is out of his mind to pick a fight with the city now that the paladins are there.
That's not what I heard.
Been there, done that.
Who are you?
I'm Orlan, the keeper of this here modest tavern. What are you looking for, stranger? Maybe a decent sword, or a good piece of armor? A good swig from the country stills, or just some information? I can give you all that and more if your coins ring.
No one really wants to hear that.
What kind of armor can you offer me?
I have here a very nice piece that is sure to please you.
Do you really believe that?
Tell me that isn't true.
I'll think.
As you like.
He never would have thought of that himself.
I couldn't get away with that.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
Nobody wants to know.
Will it ever change?
It was his decision, wasn't it?
But no, he insisted he knew better.
That was no big deal.
Do you really believe that?
Nobody wants to know.
Show me your wares.
If you can pay.
That's not what I heard.
No one really wants to hear that.
That's all just gossip.
I've got no time for things like that.
That's not what I heard.
I've got no time for things like that.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
It had to happen sooner or later.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
No idea. You tell me.
That was obvious all along.
I've got no time for things like that.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
I used to say that myself.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
And that's the truth.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
You don't have to tell me that.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
Will it ever change?
That was no big deal.
You listened to the wrong people.
Nobody wants to know.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
That's all just gossip.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
I'm no better off myself.
I'm staying out of it.
You listened to the wrong people.
Been there, done that.
Do you really really believe that?
Nobody wants to know.
That's been known a long time.
That was no big deal.
Do you really believe that?
You just have to listen.
Will it ever change?
Tell me that isn't true.
I'm not telling you anything new.
That's no secret.
I never knew that.
It had to happen sooner or later.
I'm not telling you anything new.
That will never change.
That's all just gossip.
I used to say that myself.
You listen to the wrong people.
I'm staying out of it.
I never knew that.
The things I could tell you.
That was obvious all along.
That will never change.
I'm not telling you anything new.
He really should have known better.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
Been there, done that.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
I've got no time for things like that.
Will it ever change?
And that's the truth.
I'm no better off myself.
That will never change.
That's really not my problem.
Same old thing all over again.
I'd have gone about it differently.
That's no secret.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Nobody wants to know.
That's all just gossip.
Been there, done that.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Been there, done that.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
And that's the truth.
How's it going with your tavern?
Times have been better, you know. People's purses aren't as open as they used to be.
He never would have thought of that himself.
The things I could tell you.
That's not what I heard.
I couldn't get away with that.
I agree with you completely.
Nobody wants to know.
That's not what I heard.
Same old thing all over again.
That doesn't surprise me.
It had to happen sooner or later.
He never would have thought of that himself.
I couldn't get away with that.
I never knew that.
Can't rely on that.
That doesn't
I need more items to sell, so that I have enough to buy some decent armor.
I'm no better off myself.
Been there, done that.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
It had to happen sooner or later.
He never would have thought of that himself.
That's no secret.
That's been known a long time.
And there's more, believe me.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I used to say that myself.
Show me your wares.
If you can pay.
Ever change.
No one really wants to hear that.
That's all just gossip.
I'm staying out of it.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
And that's the truth.
Will it ever change?
The things I could tell you.
He never would have thought of that himself.
Tell me that isn't
What
true.
kind of armor can you offer me?
I have here a very nice piece that is sure to please you.
You better.
That was no big deal.
That's been known a long time.
I'd like to buy the leather armor.
A wise decision.
No secret.
That's been known a long time.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
He never would have thought of that himself.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
It's a bad business.
Is the beer any good here?
It's not exactly the best, but in these bleak times, you can't be choosy.
That's all just gossip.
What are you doing here?
Up until a few weeks ago, I was slaving away on the landowner's field. One day it just got too much for me, and I took myself out of there straight away. Now I'm my own boss. Everything I own is in this chest here. That's all I need, too. Interested in a little contest?
It's a bad business.
What kind of a contest would that be?
I call it bottoms up. The rules are quite simple. We take turns ordering a tankard of the best beer the old geezer has to offer. Every tankard has to be drunk dry so that it doesn't even leave a ring if you set it on the table upside down. The last man standing wins. The loser pays the tab and a steak. Well, how about it?
Maybe some other time, when I'm not in a hurry.
That's all just gossip.
And that's the truth.
Did anything else of interest happen?
Not that I know of. Nobody tells me anything.
I couldn't care less.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
And that's the truth.
There's nothing you can do about it.
You just have to listen.
Do you really believe that?
It had to happen sooner or later.
I'll never get this open without the right key.
That will never change.
That's not what I heard.
Same old thing all over again.
I agree with you completely.
No one really wants to hear that.
I agree with you completely.
I used to say that myself.
It's a bad business.
You don't have to tell me that.
Will it ever change?
Tell me that isn't true.
That's really not my problem.
No one really wants to hear that.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Can't rely on that.
There's nothing you can do about it.
He really should have known better.
Is it really true?
I've got no time for things like that.
That doesn't surprise me.
The things I could tell you.
I'm better off myself.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
And that's the truth.
Show me your wares.
If you can
It's
pay.
obvious all along.
I couldn't get away with that.
That's really not my problem.
And that's the truth.
I never knew that.
Nobody wants to know.
That was obvious all along.
And there's more, believe me.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Been there, done that.
Do you really believe that?
And that's the truth.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Same old thing all over again.
He never would have thought of that himself.
That will never change.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
The things I could tell you.
That's not what I heard.
Tell me that isn't true.
That's all just gossip.
I used to say that myself.
That doesn't surprise me.
Show me your wares.
If you can pay.
To listen.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
It had to happen sooner or later.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
That's not what I heard.
Same old thing all over again.
That's all just gossip.
I couldn't get away with that.
I'm no better off myself.
You don't have to tell me that.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm staying out of it.
If he doesn't see that, I can't help him.
Nobody wants to know.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
I used to say that myself.
But no, he insisted he knew better.
He really should have known better.
That's been known a long time.
And that's the truth.
I'm no better off myself.
I couldn't care less.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
No idea. You tell me.
That was obvious all along.
I'm staying out of it. Can't rely on that.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
Hey, you! What's the matter?
What's the matter? Just look at that mess under the bridge over there. I haven't seen anything like it in my entire life. Those swine should be exterminated, I tell you.
What happened?
I was traveling with my helpers when those horrible brutes came jumping on my cart out of the blue and butchered everybody. I'm lucky that I still know how to dish out a decent right hook, or they would have killed me too.
Who were those people?
The bandits. Who else? They took over the bridge up there. They rob everybody who tries to pass the bridge. I knew they were lurking up there, so I passed under the bridge instead. But my cart and my goods must have been too tempting for them. Those scumbags simply jumped from the bridge directly onto my cart. I should have tried to steal past in the night.
That stuff there under the bridge is yours?
The cart, the goods, everything. But none of it is really any value to me. The only thing that's irreplaceable are the 3 stone tablets they stole from me.
Stone tablets?
The water mage in town wants to buy them from me, and I promised he'd get them. I must have them back at any cost, or my reputation will be tarnished.
Where did you get those stone tablets?
I found them near old buildings, such as mausoleums or sometimes in caves. I've already sold a whole bunch of them to the water mages in town. They're pretty rare down here, though. I found most of them northeast of Corinus.
Why don't you simply go looking for new ones?
During that melee with the bandits, I sprained my ankle. I can still hobble along, but I don't want to walk very far on this foot.
What would a water mage want with them?
He said he was going to study them, and asked me to bring him more.
About those stone tablets, I've got one here.
Thank you. Now I'm still missing 2. I'll pay you for them, of course.
That was obvious all along.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
That's a...
I used to say that myself.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Can't rely on that.
Show me your wares.
If you can pay.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
I couldn't get away with that.
Do you really believe that?
That's no secret.
I never knew that.
That's no secret.
That was obvious all along.
No idea. You tell me.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Nobody wants to know.
That was obvious all along.
It had to happen sooner or later.
I'm no better off myself.
Can't rely on that.
There's nothing you can do about it.
No idea. You tell me.
That's all just gossip.
And there's more, believe me.
I agree with you completely.
The things I could tell you.
Do you really believe that?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Hey, you! What's the matter?
What's the matter? I haven't.
What happened?
I'm lucky.
That stuff there under the
cup, but none of the only thing that's
stone.
The water I must have.
Where did you?
I found them. They're pretty rare.
Why don't you?
I can.
What would a what?
He said.
Who were those?
The bandit. They robbed it. I knew they were from my car. Those scum.
Are you a citizen of the town?
Haven't been in ages, boy. There's no love lost between me and the corrupt swine in the upper quarter of Cowardice. I used to have quite a bit of influence there, you know, but that was months ago.
Show me your wares.
I can't sell you anything. All my stuff lies over there, under the bridge, lad. I can only sell you something once I get home, but I won't leave here until I have my stone tablets back.
You managed to drive back the bandits?
Yes, but I'm sure they're still up there on the bridge.
Can you teach me how to hit hard like that?
Of course I can.
Show me how I can hit harder.
All right, but you'll owe me for that. Help me save my reputation and bring back my stone tablets. Then I can show you how to make better use of your strength in combat.
This is the end of the stream. Thanks for watching.